What is up, guys? Today is Saturday, September 16th, 2017, and today I'm going to be doing a video that I'll bet a lot of you guys have been waiting to see for a long time. Today I'm doing an update on the fire alarm collection. It's been a little while since I've done an update on the collection, and since then quite a lot has changed. Before I get the video started, I'm just going to quickly address something that some of you may be wondering. Fire alarms are still a pretty big hobby of mine. I know that at my age, a lot of collectors kind of start to get tired of the hobby, and they end up selling off their collection and kind of being done with the hobby, or not just not doing a lot with it. That's not the case with me. Thankfully, I am still very much interested in this stuff. I just haven't had a lot of time to work with it because of my job, and next semester I'll be starting a class in college. But I do plan on staying faithful to this hobby because I still do enjoy it very much, and it's still a lot of fun to to mess around with this stuff and hook it up and have some fun with it. So as with the collection, I plan on keeping it pretty much the same. I don't plan on buying anything new. But if I do get stuff for free, which I do expect that'll happen actually pretty soon here, I will grow the collection like that. And maybe I might get rid of just a couple things, but for the most part, everything here is going to be staying for years to come. So let's get started. As you guys can see, I have a lot of stuff. My collection is fairly big. These are the notification appliances over here, and other random stuff. And then we've got mostly pull stations over here, and also some other random stuff. So adding on to what I was saying before, this stuff has come from all over. I've gotten some stuff from eBay. Some of it has come from other fire alarm enthusiasts on YouTube. Some of it's come from local building demolitions, and some of it's come from local system upgrades. So starting at the front here, we've got my 4 Simplex speaker strobes. I did have more speaker strobes, but I recently sold a lot of them just because they were duplicate models. So now I have one of each model here. These 4 devices came from my dad's work a few years ago when they were changing out some of the fire alarm devices due to synchronization issues with the strobe lights. The first device here is my Simplex 4903 9148. This is a 15 candela speaker strobe. To the right of that, we've got my Simplex 4903 9168 15 candela speaker strobe. These two alarms are pretty much the same thing. That one is newer, I believe, and it's got a little bit, the speaker on it is a little bit better built. But these are basically the same exact thing. This one just has a little bit of a cheaper speaker on it. Like I said, 9148, 9168. Then these are my 2 True Alert speaker strobes. We've got a Simplex 4903. Let's see if the camera will focus in on that. 4903 9357. I believe this is a 75 candela model. Yes, it is. True Alert. This is one of the early True Alerts right here. Early True Alert series devices. Then next we've got my Simplex 4906 9151. This is a newer True Alert speaker strobe. It actually has Smart Sync on it. So that one does too, but this one uses the slightly newer Smart Sync technology. So this is a newer one, and it is also a multi-candela. So yeah, so there's my 4 Simplex speaker strobes right there. Moving on down, we've got some Simplex horn strobes. These all came out of the JP Morgan Chase bank office building demolition last year. Whoops. We got my Simplex 4903 9219 electromechanical horn strobe. There's that. To the right of that, we've got my Simplex 4903 9252 electronic horn strobe. And gonna have to tap the screen to get this thing to focus in. That's what I gotta get, is a new camera here pretty soon. This one has the True Alert horn on it, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it's the same thing as the True Alert. Sounds identical to a True Alert. This one also came out of the JP Morgan Chase building. Got this guy a few years ago off of eBay, I believe. This is a Simplex 4903. What's the model number on that strobe plate? I think it's a 4903 9100 something. 9105, I believe it is, with a Simplex 2901 9838 horn on it. So, got this a few years ago off of eBay. I believe it came out of an old school that was demolished. There's that. Got this guy a few years ago off of eBay too. This is one of my favorites because it's a classic. This is a Simplex 4050-80 light plate with a 4051 horn. And these things are becoming very rare. They're not seen in buildings too often anymore because they, at this age, they're starting to get worn out and unreliable. But you would see these a lot in old schools and stuff like that, and this guy still works. If I want to use it with the panel, though, I have to use a polarization diode, which is a pain in the butt to wire in with the alarm, so I haven't used it on the system in a while. Next up here, we got my Simplex 2901-9806 horn on a 2903 9001 light plate. I actually made this alarm out of two different devices. The light plate I got from one YouTuber, and the horn I got from another YouTuber. So, and this is a pretty common combination right here you see with this horn and this light plate. So, pretty cool alarm, and the horn works great on this light plate. I've got them wired in a series, I believe. Yeah, I do. So, there's that. We've got my Simplex 2903 9002 light plate, I believe, and this one is the flush mount version, so you see a lot of, when you see these guys in buildings, you see a lot of speakers, and you also see bells on these guys. But light plates, and this one, you can change it so where the light, where that plate is upside down to where it's like that, but this particular one is, the orientation is like that. So, I still haven't gotten a bell or a speaker for this thing, but hopefully I will at some point. Then we've got two more horn strobes from that JP Morgan demolition. This is a Simplex 2901-9838 horn on a 2903-9101 strobe plate. Same thing as that one. These both came out of the same building. And got some back boxes and trim plates for those too. That back box on the right I got with this one, then the other two came from those horn strobes. That's where those back boxes and trim plates came from. Then moving on to my newer Simplex devices, I've got one of my favorites here. Simplex 4906-9134 True Alert electronic chime strobe. Fairly new device here still. And I was the first YouTuber to have one of these. Now it seems like a lot more people do. Actually, the other people have the 9133. This is the 9134. So it's the white version. A lot of people have the red version, which is the 9133. Next we have my Simplex 4901-9820 True Alert horn. This one does not have the True Alert label on it, so this is kind of another alarm that was made when the True Alerts were first coming out, but very loud horn. Like I said, I've said before that this horn will literally blow your ears out. These are very loud horns. Very crisp and clear sound on these. Got a few Simplex strobes, 4903-9168 models, I believe. No, 4904-9168 here. And these two came out of my dad's building. And this one here actually has the shell and the back cover from the very first fire alarm I had, which was also a 4904-9168. but that one didn't work right, and so I took it apart, took the cover off of it, took the back plate off of it, and then when one of these was removed from my dad's work, the front cover and back plate were actually in terrible condition and cracked, so I just replaced the parts. So this is basically my first fire alarm here, just with a different strobe, really. So then this guy is a 4904-9332. This is a smart sync only strobe, 75 candela on this one. Those two are 15 candela models. I have a lot of Simplex remote strobes here. Starting on the left, we have a Simplex 4904-9112. This is a 110 candela strobe. This guy's actually kind of going bad. It's got some bad component on it, and it is a very slow flasher. So it works sometimes, but sometimes it'll randomly cut out. But this is a pretty cool device because I got it from a New Age Server Alarm, and it was in a few of his system tests. So this one is a Simplex 4904-9176, 15 candela strobe. This too came from the JP Morgan demolition. These four devices here I got from my dad's building as well. This is a Simplex 4904-9183. I know you guys can't see those labels, but it's alright. Then these two guys are 4904-9184s. So we got a 9183, two 9184s, and this one is a 9185. So in order, we've got 15 candela, 30 candela, and 110 candela. This is a Simplex 4903-9177. One model up from this, just white. So next, we're going to move down to the system sensor equipment. I've got quite a few system sensor devices here. So these two guys are Spectre Alert Classic P1224 MCK horn strobes. These ones are made to be mounted outside as outdoor devices. You mount them on the weatherproof back boxes, and the only difference between these and the regular Spectre Alerts is that these have foam insulation both on the alarm and on the back plate, so water doesn't seep in. That one is pretty much brand new. I actually got it in the box. This one came out of one of my dad's other buildings, and this one came from the same building, but it's actually used. They upgraded the system there to a Siemens system, I believe. So then we got a system sensor Spectre Alert P1224 MCW horn strobe, a system sensor P1224, I believe. No, it's an S1224. Yeah, S1224 MCW. So all my Spectre Alert Classics are the newer generation models with the multi-candela strobes. Then we have a System Sensor Classic Spectre Alert horn only on this one. This one's a little bit older. This one has the terminals way up there. It's actually quite hard to get to them. Yeah, there they are. You guys can see one of them right there. H1224 horn. This actually does, well, just like the other Spectre Alerts, this does two different tones, electromechanical and, 3,000 hertz. So we got my, we got a pretty rare device. This is my system sensor CH2415, 15 candela chime strobe. This does several different tones. Another device that came out of the JP Morgan demolition. This is a system sensor Spectre Alert Advance SR. This one came from a building demolition in my town that I pulled I pulled this one out of the dumpster, actually. System sensor SS24 sounder strobe, which I am missing the tone jumper for, so I can't really change the tone on this. It's stuck on slow whoop. Then we're going to move down to the Wheelock / Cerberus Pyrotronics collection. All these devices here to here came out of my dad's building. So same building that these Spectre Alerts came out of. So these are the original devices right here, and these are newer ones. I'll start over here. These are Wheelock Exceeder horn strobes. I believe the model on these is HSR. And these are multi-candela devices, 2-wire. Like these things quite a lot. They're very nice alarms. They got a very sleek, modern design to them. So next we have my 2 Wheelock WMT-24 strobes. I believe these are 117 candela with the weatherproof type strobes on them. And then we have, let's see, I believe we have 7 of these things. These are Cerberus Powertronics EHM-D horn strobes. These are the exact same thing as the Wheelock EH-DL1-WM-24 horn strobes. These are just rebranded by Cerberus Powertronics. And there's your information right there. So there's that. These have the back plate on them. A few of them do, a few of them don't. I have 2 extras sitting right there. So there's that. This one actually says Wheelock on it. This one has the Cerberus model number on it, but it actually has the Wheelock label on it. So this one also came out of the same building. It's a little bit different. It's a multi-tone Cerberus Powertronics MTL-S17-F. I believe that's the model, yeah. So then these 3 devices here, these are all chimes. This is a Siemens, actually. I stand corrected. This is a Siemens, but rebranded Siemens. It's actually a Wheelock. Siemens EH-MC-W, same thing as your Wheelock CH70. Then we got a Wheelock ceiling mount chime. This can be used for fire alarm or general signaling applications, I believe. Wheelock CH-CF1-W, I believe that's supposed to be a -W right there because this is the white version. And this is really more of a general signaling device, but I consider it part of the fire alarm collection because it is a Wheelock device. This is a Wheelock 712-24 electromechanical chime, and I can actually do this and it should sound. There you guys go. Very pleasant sound to it. I believe this was used on a telephone system, but I still consider it part of the collection. Then we got my 3 Gentex devices here. I apologize for the wires here. This one is actually wired into my system right now, and I didn't want to unhook it. So, first of all, we got my Gentex Commander 3 GEC3-24WW multi-tone horn strobe. And I've had this guy for quite a while. I believe I got it off of eBay. Then we got a Gentex Commander 2 right here. This is a GEC24-1575WR, I believe it is. Yeah, I got resistors on there, so you can't really see it, but that's right. Then we got a another Commander 3 GES3-24WR, I believe. Yep, GES3-24WR. And then we got our 2 other devices down here. I don't have a lot of either of these brands, so I'm just putting them together. EST Genesis horn strobe. This is a G1RF-HDVM. This is also a very loud device, like the True Alert horns. And this one I actually got last year from a very neat former Cold War bunker that was actually demolished this year. I did a whole video on that. You guys can go check it out. But this is a FCI alarm, actually. The model is... Where is it? Model FSL. And this is a very rare model. I think I'm the only one on YouTube to actually have this. Let's try this. I really want to get focused in on that. Let's try that. There it is, kind of. FSL, very rare, and very non-ADA compliance. Very, you know, not bright strobe. The strobe really isn't that bright on that thing. Now we're going to move on to the pole stations. I've got, the pole station collection is a lot smaller than the notification appliance collection, but obviously it is still very much a part of the collection. We have 2 Notifier MBG10L pole stations. I just have them here because this one's wired in, so two Notifier NBG10 pull stations. Got these off of eBay, and a lot with the with that strobe right there. Then we got five system sensor. I'm sorry, Cerberus Powertronics MS501 pull stations. These two came out of my dad's work, and pretty nice pull stations right here. Still not sure what I'm doing with this one. Someone damaged it pretty bad. Good old pull station 48 here. The whole back plate on this one got bent, so really can't be used. But maybe I can figure out how to bend it back, or maybe I'll sell it for what it's worth. Maybe, I don't know, I've had that one for a few years. Maybe I'll just hold on to it. Got a lot of Simplex pull stations. This one I got off of eBay a few years ago. 4251-20. We all know these guys. These three are also 4251-20s. These are just a little bit different. These are the late 80s models. These are all 1989 devices, whereas I think this one might be from the 1970s or something like that. Same goes for these. These came out of the same building. These two are 1989 models, and so are these. But you guys can see the difference between the two models. This one has more of a shiny silver key lock on it. These ones have a little bit of a darker color, and these newer ones have the notched T-bar on them, whereas these ones have a flat T-bar. So there's those. Got my Simplex 2099-9756 dual action T-bar. The dual action push bar broke on it a long time ago, so it kind of doesn't work anymore, but I'm keeping it in there anyway. Then we got my Simplex 2099 9762 pull station with the institutional key operated only cover. So that one I got brand new from Simplex a long time ago. So then we got three Simplex key test stations for duct detectors. These are Simplex 2098, 9806, and 9805. This is the 9805. It has a power LED as well as an alarm LED, and then these are these are the 9806 models. So there's that. And I've also got two Simplex Smart Sync modules for the strobe synchronization. This is a 4905 9938, and this is the newer one that syncs up the 4906 devices, but it'll also sync 4906 devices to 4903 and 4904 devices, which is pretty neat. Then this is a Simplex 4905 9914. This is for the older devices, and it works just fine. This one was pulled from my dad's work as well, but still syncs them up just great. So there you guys go with all the devices. I guess I'll go over the panels I currently have really quick. Over here is my Simplex 4005 9101 control panel, which I basically rebuilt from the frame because when I got it, it had the lightning strike damage and it didn't work. So there's that. That's my primary control panel. Actually, my only control panel right now. Simplex 4305-B fire alarm annunciator panel. This one also came out of the JP Morgan Chase demolition. Then we got my Cerberus Powertronics annunciator panel, which came out of my dad's work. So there you guys go. There is the whole fire alarm collection as it currently is. I actually have some exciting news for next year. There is another building demolition that is supposed to be taking place that I'm very well aware of, and I have already contacted the owner of that property. There are a lot of cool fire alarms on this property, and I'm going to see if there's a possibility I can get some of those devices. So by next year, that demolition is supposed to take place early 2018, so hopefully I should be able to get some more devices in the collection here pretty soon. Like I said, nothing is really changing with the collection. I'm keeping most everything here for hopefully years to come. The only thing I might do is get rid of maybe 2 or 3 of these Cerberus Powertronics horn strobes, just because I have so many of them. I have so many of the same model, but There's everything, guys. Thank you for watching, and that'll be it for today.